Okay. Did you have more slides to share, or will I be able to share my screen?
Nope, as soon as we get started, that'll go away, and it'll be all you. Yeah.
See, Eric's got his stuff with the
Oh, yeah. That's a babe.
You guys look great in your masks. I love it.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Started here. So I am going to introduce David of the Uke Society, also a T-Mobile employee, and he is going to be taking us through a ukulele introduction. So David, let me get you here. Boop, boop. David, will you say something and then you'll become our main screen?
Sure, yeah. This is David. Happy to be here right in
Awesome.
Seattle.
And everybody, okay.
Oh, hey.
And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to unmute and say them, or use the chat feature, whichever you prefer. And David, I'll let you introduce yourself and kick it off.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Right, so here it is. This won't be like any other work deck, I hope. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. Lots to cover. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the Uke Society and how it got started. It really got started from my love for coffee. You know, interestingly enough, there's a lot of coffee shops here in Seattle area where I'm from. But what I observed is that there are a lot of coffee shops that really close pretty early during the day or during the afternoon. And I was wondering, would it be possible to repurpose these real estates into a gathering place for people to make music, to do some group activities, creative activities, and so on. And so we kicked this off in March of 2017. I started working with a lot of small local businesses, coffee shops, wineries, tasting rooms, bakeries, libraries, and the city. And now, first time at T-Mobile, new T-Mobile. So I'm super happy to be here, spending time with you all. We have structured this initial session for complete beginners. And so hopefully you have your ukulele in hand. Even if you don't, there's a lot of exercises that we can do today without it, in case it's being shipped to you. So another reason why we're doing this is obviously during this time of pandemic, a lot of people are very isolated. And so to have this opportunity working with Michelle's team, with Megan, to put this out there, to allow people to build community, to have a sense of kind of togetherness, I think is really awesome. And the small ukulele instrument really can bring us together. And so feel free to connect with me. We have other opportunities to play and make some friends. And so your takeaway at the end of the session should be that you are equipped with the basics to learn and kind of allow you to make the ukulele your own. Okay. Again, 3 sessions will be created afterwards. You guys can see my screen, right? Okay, perfect. All right, so the agenda, we'll go through all these things, and then at the very end, just draw your attention here. We're gonna be playing through 20 songs, and hopefully we have time for that. And doesn't matter I'm sure a lot of you will recognize these songs. Okay, brief history. The Portuguese brought the instrument to Hawaii. Obviously, the Hawaiians did make it their own, and that's kind of the sound. The sound of the ukulele is what we associate today with the Hawaiian culture. And it's a lovely thing. It's a very mellow sound. Let me, actually, I do need to grab mine. So this is my ukulele. It's a concert size. That just means the different sizes. Let me go through the anatomy real quick, kind of the introduction to what you're looking at. Here are the frets, fret 1, 2, 3, and 4. And obviously the sound hole is right here. This is called the bridge. And these are the tuning pegs. Now, we will not be learning the tune today. You can definitely check it out. Check out the resources page at the bottom of this deck, or go on YouTube and look to see how to tune. But the idea is the tighter the string, if you tighten it with these pegs, the higher the sound, the pitch it's going to be. One other thing, when you hold your ukulele, what you want to do is you want to rest it on your lap like this, on your right lap, if you're right-handed. And if you're left-handed, you switch it over, but you have to switch the strings too. So again, we won't talk about how to string your ukulele today. Check it out, it's in the resources. When you're holding it on your lap, the string on the bottom is string number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, just kind of think about it like an elevator. The bottom floor is floor 1, and so that's called a string 1. And this is important to distinguish, because it will help us map the chords later. And all right, next thing, we're going to map our coordinates. Oh, okay, I gotta go over a hand shape and holding position. Again, you rest it on your lap, use your left hand to kind of hold the neck area like that, kind of rest it here. And then your right hand, which is your strumming hand.
Yes. While you're showing your ukulele, can you stop sharing your screen so we can see you?
Oh, you can't see me.
We can't see. You're a very tiny little box.
Oh, I see.
You guys can actually change your options at the top too, where you can view it like almost side by side, where you see him and you see the PowerPoint at the same time. It's one of the options at the top of the screen if you're in the WebEx app.
That's true if you have double screen or something. Okay, yeah, I'll try to do that when we're doing more of the showing of the ukulele, for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely. All right, so let's actually look at some chord mapping, because this is going to help us begin learning our first chords. The first and the most common chord that people will learn is the C chord. Now, if you hold your ukulele facing you, hold it like this with the strings facing yourself, and I'm gonna hold it so it faces you. What you're gonna see is these kind of a chord box, just like it shows on the screen, with this being the top, again, fret number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then string 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, what you see in the chord diagram with a 3 on a dot, that indicates where you should be using your left hand, and you should put your finger number 3, which is starts with your index finger, which is number 1, and the middle finger is number 2. Number 3 would be your ring finger. And so what that indicates is you want to take your ring finger, or your finger number 3, and put it on the string, just like the diagram or the image that shows. String number 1, which is floor number 1, fret number 3, using your 3rd finger. There's a lot of like coordination going on here, but this is how you play the C chord. And when you play through the C chord, it's going to sound like this. This is the most common chord played and learned on the ukulele. Pretty simple, one finger chord. One quick tip is make sure your fingernails are trimmed, because if your fingernails are really long, then it's going to be very hard to press between on the strings, and you always want to press between the metal dividers, okay? You want to press on the string, but between the metal dividers. And we'll go into that in a little more detail afterwards. Now, is everyone okay playing the C chord? Does that sound all right? Okay. Wow, 40 people. This is so cool. All right, next chord. We're going to play the A minor chord. Oh, gonna mute check real quick. Now, as we talked about, we are playing the A minor chord. And again, you see that number 2 on the dot? That represents your finger number 2, which again is your middle finger, because you start 1 with the index, 2 is middle. Now you want to take your middle finger, put it on string number 4. Okay, set it down on string number 4 and on the 2nd fret. So it will look like that, just like the diagram shows. And when you play through, it should sound like this. It's a minor chord, meaning it's a little bit sadder. That's what it means when you play a minor chord versus a major chord. Doing all right? All right, next chord we're gonna play. And again, today we'll learn 4 chords. So the next chord is a chord F chord. Now to play the F chord, you notice something similar to the A minor chord. You see that it reuses the same note, that number 2 on that 4th string. So what you want to do is keep that A minor chord, and now you take your finger number 1, your index finger, and put it onto the 2nd string 1st fret to make something that looks like this, just like the image also. Now you notice in the image of the hand on the slide, you see how the fingers kind of curls over the fretboard. That is the right technique to play. You do not want to have a very rigid or flat way of playing, kind of locking your knuckles. You don't want to lock your knuckles. You want to kind of curl over the fretboard. And you want to make sure also your thumb is behind the neck, kind of applying similar pressure, kind of like a pinching motion on the back of the neck, so that you apply equal force to form that chord. And you don't have to press it too hard, actually. You have to make sure just hard enough where you make a clear sound like this. This is the F chord. All right. Last chord we're gonna learn is the G chord. The G chord is kind of like an upside down triangle, and it does use all 3 fingers, your first 3 fingers, 1, 2, and 3. Now this one will take a little bit to find. Go ahead and take your index finger and place it on the 3rd string, again, the 3rd floor, 2nd fret. And then you take your ring finger, put it onto the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And then you take your middle finger, which is finger number 2, and it goes on the 1st floor, 1st string, 2nd fret. Now, it should look like that. Or if you can look at the image on your screen. When you have found all of these, again, try to find that slight curl over the fretboard and make sure your thumb is supporting it from the back to apply equal pressure. And when you found that, strum through, it should sound like this. Again, a very bright, because it's a major chord, so it's a little bit happier. All right. Yep. How we doing? kind of going pretty quick to learn your first 4 chords. Those are the first 4 chords and probably the most common chords you'll play, and you'll recognize all the songs use the same chords, as you'll find out later. Now, the number one question that we get all the time teaching beginners and doing beginner lessons that we get asked is, how do you transition between chords? Because as you see, you've just learned how to play 4 chords and you know how to find them. That's the cool thing. You can actually find them. Doesn't matter, if you learn 4 chords or 40 chords. You can watch the diagram and you can slowly map out your way. Now, the hard thing now is to transition chords. For example, listen to this. I'm going to play transition between C to A minor. And you can see that C and A minor chords are on your screen. It's going to sound like this. I'm going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen for 1 second so that I can show you what are some of the things to watch out for as you're learning. Now, when I play my C chord, it looks like this. And when I'm playing, I know that I am transitioning because I can see on the screen that I'm going to an A minor chord, which looks like this, another 1-finger chord. Now, when I'm playing my C, watch what my middle finger is doing. It's hovering just above the string of the A minor so that when the time is right, on the first count, I am going to pull off on my ring finger and press down on my middle finger. And as I am playing the A minor chord, the kind of the sad chord, watch what my ring finger is doing. It's hovering over the C chord so that I can quickly find that C chord again. And when I'm playing the A minor chord, knowing that I am going into the F chord, look what my index finger is doing. It's hovering over the F chord. And when the time's right, all I need to do is press down on that F chord. So that is kind of called we call it the hovering technique, which allows you to quickly transition between chords. So that's a great exercise that you can try between any 2 chords that you want to practice.
Hey, David, we have a request for showing the G chord again, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at the G chord. I'll stop sharing. So to play the G chord, you're going to need these 3 fingers, 1, 2, and 3. You can take your finger number 1, place it on the 3rd string. So floor number 3, 2nd fret. And then you take your ring finger, finger number 3, put it on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And then take your middle finger and place it on the 1st string, the 1st floor, 2nd fret. So it looks a little bit like that. Okay? You see how my knuckles are slightly bent, curled over the fretboard? They're not stiff like this. Okay? It needs to curl over. And when you play through, just sound like that. Okay. All right. So now we know a bit about our chording hand, or your the left hand techniques. We're going to learn about the strumming, and we talked about that slightly already. Let's begin with a down strum. How do you do a down strum? When you do a down strum, point at yourself with your index finger. Point at yourself. And then when you strum through, you should be pointing at the floor. Okay? Let me stop sharing. You can watch me. So, point at yourself, strum through, you should point at the floor. Now, you want to make sure you are using the middle part of your fingernail. You're not using the tip. Use the middle part. Go ahead and dig into your ukulele a little bit. It's okay to dig in. Make a big, bright sound. And you can use your whole arm, kind of strum down, again, pointing at yourself, and then strum through to point at the floor. Okay, let's try an up strum. The up strum is the opposite. You point at the floor first. When you finish an up strum, you should be pointing at yourself. And to play the up strum, you want to use the padded part of your index finger. Okay, not the tip, but the padded part, and then it should sound like this. Start at the floor, end at pointing at yourself. And a lot of people ask, where exactly do I, where do people typically strum? Like along this side, right? Like, do you strum here or do you strum here? Now that's a little bit of a preference, and depending on the song and the sound that you want to project. I typically, and most people will do this, their wrist is hovering slightly above the sound hole. So they're actually strumming up here. Pretty far up, not directly over the sound hole. Okay. Hey, just a quick note that, everything that we are talking about today is actually recorded in a video, and I guess you can revisit this video as well. But we also have a video on YouTube that you can check out, and that's going to be in the resources at the end. So let's move on and actually start playing our first song. So this song has 3 chords, C, F, and G. You are my sunshine. You can see there's lots of C chords in there. Hopefully now you're pretty familiar with finding your C chord. Excuse me. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do one strum when every time a chord comes up. We are not going to strum any more than that, okay? Just one simple strum. And when the chord comes up. My sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sun, that one G in there, shine away. Now it's hard, I can't hear how you guys are playing, but hopefully you've applied some of those techniques into this song. We'll play this one more time. Now again, you can see that when I'm playing my F, and I know I can see that the C is the next chord, my ring finger is hovering over there already. Same thing when I'm playing the C, and I know the F is the next chord, I will be hovering over those. It will take a while for you to, this is not something you can pick up on your first day, but at least you know the right technique of playing. So this time I'm going to play, and I'm going to add one additional down strum in between each chord. And so follow along. You can play just as I do, or you can play just one strum per chord. Okay? You are my sunshine. I should share actually. Yeah. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. All right. I hope you guys are able to play through that one okay. Yeah, let's get some more sessions on the calendar, and I'm sure Michelle and Megan will send those out on the way, so please be sure to keep an eye on those things. All right, moving on. I think we're doing very good on time, but I have some interactive exercises. Now is what we want to do is to, so far we've only done down strums. we're going to learn, just tap in a little bit into rhythms and playing fancy strums, such as, I'll share that later. But this is what I want you to do, okay? Put your ukulele down. We're gonna do a few of these exercises together. Now we're gonna clap wherever you see an X. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4. So watch what I'm doing and follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not too bad, right? All right, next exercise. Okay, now you see that there's some extra X's now on lining up with the N. So it's gonna sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next one. It's gonna get a little bit harder now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Trust that we're doing okay here. Now, fewer claps, but this is going to be syncopated. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, last one we're gonna do. We doing okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know that what you just did there is called, it's got a very fancy name. It's called the calypso rhythm. And the calypso rhythm is the #1 most played. Oh, that last one is, yeah, it is. But you can see that we progressed through that, and this will take some time to practice. The calypso rhythm is what you're gonna use for pretty much any pop song. It will work perfectly, and I'll demonstrate that in just a bit. So we'll take, let's do a few more for Michelle here. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can close your eyes. Might get easier. All right, good job. So those are all the rhythm exercises we're gonna do. We may not actually, let's do a few of these, okay? Now, this time, we're gonna take our ukulele and we're gonna rest on your lap again. We're gonna make this Zen chord. It's not gonna make any sound, and the reason is because I'm putting my hand over it, over the string slightly to mute it. So all you hear is this zik chord, okay? So when you see the down arrow, that means a down strum, and you're going to land it exactly on where the numbers are. I'm gonna count it, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not too bad, right? Again, down strum, start pointing at yourself, finish pointing at the floor. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, 2, 3, 4. Down, 2, 3, 4. Up strums now. 1, 2, ready, go. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. All right. Adding some down, up strums. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. All right, let's skip one here. I told you we're gonna move fast, but at least hopefully you have some takeaways, and we'll send out the deck so that you can revisit. Okay, this one's a little bit challenging. 1, 2, 3, up, down, 1, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, up. Last one. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, down, up, down, 1, 2, and 3, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. You know, again, that is, again, the fancy calypso strum. And we will demonstrate that in just a second now. For 20 songs, we're going to use that exact same strum, believe it or not. Okay, that leads us to the very last part of this crash course. Before we play through 20 songs, which I call the mash, let's go over some resources, website, Facebook, YouTube, crash course video, which talks about, it's 15 minutes of condensed of what we have put together. And you can revisit it, 20 song play along, which we recorded, and additional resources such as tuning and how to change your strings, so on. You can contact me at davidliu@ukesociety.com, Megan, Michelle, I'm sure they'll get information out to you. And that's it. Okay, we're gonna play this song together, 20 songs. You guys ready? And I'll finish right on time. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this place, ukesociety.com/songs. When you click on it, it will look like this page, ukesociety.com songs. It's the second one, set 20 song mash. When you click on that, you will open up this, which I hope you guys can see okay. All right, we're gonna play through 20 songs with the calypso strum that you just learned. And hopefully I can switch between, for the next couple sessions, we'll bring team members from my team so that they can kind of help me change the sheets and things. Here we go. 20 songs, here we go. 1, we're gonna play this pretty fast so we don't lose the feel. Play the chords you know, okay? You can do one strum. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up. Hey, 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 one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One touch, Bob Marley. One heart, let's get together and feel all down, down, up, down, 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 up. Megan Trainor. Dear future person, here's a few things you'll need to know if you wanna be my one and all my life. Dear future person, if you wanna get that special loving, tell me I'm beautiful at each and every night. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting the stars. Alright, is someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Strum. Me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top, that's where you'll find me. Oh, I like to be under the sea. Here's a little Beatles in an octopus's garden in the shade. Down, down, up, up, down, resting our head on the seabed in an octopus's garden near a cave. I'd ask my friends to come and see an octopus's garden with me. I like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden with you. Lumineers, 'cause I belong with you. You belong with me, you're my sweet heart. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweet sugar. Yes, please, won't you come and put it down on me right here? 'Cause I need a little love and little sympathy. Can you show me good love and make it alright? Need a little sweetness in my life, sugar. Yes, please. Won't you come and put it down on me? Ed Sheeran. Honey, you're so very good. Oh, it's evergreen. Baby, your smile's forever in my mind and memory. And I'm thinking about how I don't mind spending every day out on your corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with the pretty smile, asking her if she wants to stay a while. Oh, did I? Oh, still on the same page. She will be loved, and she will be loved. When I see your face, lots of C's here. There's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. My sunshine, you know this one, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love. Please don't take my sunshine away. 'Cause I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day. Someone told me long, lots of C's. There's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. There's a so they say it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. When the night has come the land is dark and the moon is the only I will see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. 'Cause I just wanna, a little Vince Joy. If you're gonna stay, I just gotta, down, down, up, down, 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 up. I can't have it any other way. Back to the Beatles. So let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. The way you move is like a flow on a race. I'm a house of cards. You're the kind of reckless that should send me running, but I kinda knew that I won't get far. And now I'm 4 or 5 seconds from wildin', and we've got 3 more days till Friday. I'm just trying to make it back home by Monday morning. I swear I wish somebody would tell me that's all I want. 'Cause I'm leaving on the jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. No, I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. Oh, all right. Okay, I see a bunch of chats. I wasn't able to see them. I hope you guys can hear and play along okay. I mean, I know it's probably super advanced for the first time, but you know, hopefully it's an inspiration for you to come back, put more time into it, and you know, play through your own favorite songs. Right, so I think we're right on time. Megan, is there anything?
Awesome, David. Does anyone have any questions at the moment? Looks like we've got a couple links to some ukuleles in the chat if you're looking to purchase one of your own. We will be sending out an email survey to figure out what day will work best for the most amount of